Why worry about Vishnu? Go chase after Mary at this part of Persona 1, you fool! Okay, I'm gonna pretend I understood what you said there. And welcome back to Persona, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we knock off the Devi Yuga after I go looking around for some new Personas. Because God knows our stock is badly out of date. So, Super Guido. Yeah. That existed. The legendary Italian. I imagine that being a wrestler. So now, if I recall, last week, Mary, in quotes, is having a panic attack. She freaked out because she realized she's fake. Yes. Literally, she's nothing more than an imaginative construct of the real Mary. Yeah, basically, that Mary was what Mary visualizes herself to be. Like, the ultimate Mary, so to speak. What she really wants to be like. Unfortunately, our Mary is nothing like that. It was evidenced earlier when Elena was wondering why Mary was so happy and giggly. Alright, zooming on around. What I'm doing here is I'm editing to the point where Matt actually makes something because you stare at this for a good minute. I'm assuming you're looking at a grid for a reference. I'm looking at a grid for a reference to know what kind of persona I want to make. Gotcha. As well as what kind of combos I want to make up with it. Basically, what I'm trying to do here is like, I just ultimately make up a few of them like Vixen here because she refines into the main character in Brad's ultimate machine gun, the Holy Vulcan, which is like 19 power but 7 hits. So combine those with some powerful bullets, and you're unleashing some holy hell. And this combination is the Princess and the Fox. Do you imagine them doing like a little Super Saiyan fusion dance in there? Fusion! That's what happens with their fingers on the line. They end up creating a full persona. I didn't get to show it off in this game, unfortunately, but fools, like I said, are like very rare fusion accidents that can happen in this game. They rock out loud. The one you told me that it depends on the phase of the moon, you said? No. The phase of the moon alters special power. Okay. Fools are just random that can come out from fusion accidents. If you happen to make one, consider yourself blessed. They're pretty much endgame material, even to level 31. Anyway, now I dick around here because I want to make another persona. Who's coming out in the woodworks today? Will it be Loki? Will it be Sumi? No. We're playing Velvet Room with Laura Hall and Lena Taylor on the piano. Now you have me thinking of Drew Carey as Igor. Welcome to Whose Persona Is It Anyway? Where the stats matter and the monsters don't. That's right, the monsters are as effective as a one-legged man on an ass-kicking contest. Whose fusion is it anyway? Christ. Anyway, that's lovely. Dick Demon with a guy that didn't want to be with the Dick Demon. Yeah, alright. Anyway, I think I make Loki here. Loki is a unique devil persona in which he's usable by everybody, except I think maybe women. In other words, if you didn't take Chris in your party, this is the only devil persona you get to use with everybody else. Because other than Loki, the other 3 only Chris can use. So, and they're all strong against everything except Holy Light Magic. So is this Devil Loki or is this a God of Mischief Loki? Devil Loki. Devil Loki. The God of Mischief. God of Mischief. Whatchamacallit. Loki himself isn't too phenomenal except that when you're done with him and you return him at rank 8, you get Chris's ultimate weapon. Ultimate weapons are pretty much returned by... Yeah, I know that, but I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember if you mentioned Chris's ultimate weapon before or not. I know you said the Panic Dirk was... The Panic Dirk is main and Ellen's. Or Heiyu and Ellen's, I should say. Yeah. Darn it, I must have... I fused them in the wrong order. I'm an idiot. I meant to fuse them in the other way where I get the Glacier at the 2nd rank. The side arrows always sort of throw me in a loop, even though I just explained early on what the hell they mean. Yeah. What was I going to say? The Panic Dirk is myself and Ellen's. Or actually, no, there's another one in this version because it got taken out of the PSP version. I think you get it from returning the level 76 Borax persona, or Michelinda for the PSP players. Marks comes from returning the level 47 Vora persona called, guess it, the Final Axe. Elena's is the Petri Whip you get from returning a level 53 Succubus. Brad's is, I'm not sure. Either it's the Masamune you get from returning the level 61 full persona Kamakura Gongoro. The level 46 persona, the Star Sword from returning the level 46 Mori persona. Or if you're really trying to do it on a budget, the level 28 persona can return a Gay Bulge for Lance, Gay Bull for Brad, which isn't bad in and of itself either. And but just to give you guys a heads up, as Matt mentioned in the earlier parts, that if you didn't make the correct decisions, then technically Super Guido would be the final boss.
Right.
And he would get the bad ending. Well, what's considered the bad ending in this game. But since Matt made the correct decision to get the best ending...
Direct decision?
Yeah. But,
by the way, I fused a Snake Demon and a Valkyrie, and I got Thor. Interesting.
But because of that, we're actually near the end of the game, folks. For these next 3 parts, Matt's pretty much preparing for the final dungeon.
Right, and in reality, in hindsight, all I'm really doing is grinding just so I could show you what the Ultimate Persona could do, is the proper fusions to get the most out of them, really.
What Matt means by grinding is he's actually doing that stuff off screen.
Yeah.
We're not showing you guys 3 parts of grinding. We still have plot elements to do. It's just that we're pretty much at the home stretch. Yeah, we're at the home stretch, ladies and gentlemen. I wouldn't be surprised if this ended.
There's 2 more dungeons. There's 3 more dungeons after Deva Yuga. 2 of them are relatively quick, depending upon how well you go through them.
And since you know this game like the back of your hand...
Which is why I'm stopping here.
Yeah. What do you think of that hallway?
It looks really nice. I think I stopped here to take a dump.
I hope you did. Ah, there you go.
You would think that, you know... I catch all your fuck-ups, Matt. That's why I left that in.
I skimmed through the rolls.
Nah.
I always look at the audio files to know when a random battle happens, when you go into a velvet room, when you spend too long on a menu.
Anyway, let's finish off Deva Yuga. What do you say, guys?
I'm the only one here. Is that a fat joke?
I'm talking to our audience. Remember this door we passed? In we go.
Now we can finally see what's behind these doors.
Behind door... It's Vishnu.
Oh.
Why don't you guys want to be?
It's always him. The fuck?
I'm guessing during the time when the dimensional rift got shifted between Mary's world and our world, this hospital came into the Deva Yuga or something like that. Basically, Guido was a fraudulent god, his power only extending as far as Mary's influence could take him.
So even if Mary decided one day that she just wanted this all to end, Guido would go with her?
No. I think Guido would pretty much get out, and then Mary would just die.
I see.
So basically, real Mary there is
attached
down
to the machine.
Yes. What do you think that machine is? It looks like it looks like something you see in a beauty salon, ironically enough.
The virtual reality machine in Cowboy Bebop.
Ah.
Brain scratch.
Yeah. So anyway, evil Maggie, or Mary, and there's ideal Mary, who is going through an absolute guilt trip and a half because it is technically all her fault.
All we're missing is May, right?
Yeah, she's back in the forest.
She's still in the gingerbread house.
What's this? Crispy and compassionate instead of slamming Mark's head into a wall?
You never know what will happen after you punch a Super Guido in the face.
So basically, reaching out to Mary's lack of a father figure because he died at an early age,
yeah.
Guido took half of May out with him. I think I've said this in the last part. Guido took half of May out of him, or Maggie, and used that half to do bad things. This also kind of split Mary's psyche in half, so to speak.
Hence May.
And also that dual barrier in town. Half of it was, remember the castle's the hospital, because that's Mary's castle now?
Yeah.
The black market was part of Mary's own desires to hurt Bruce and Selena. Turns out she took that cheating thing rather hard. And it was pretty much like half of it was Mary's side and the other half was May's side, which was the idyllic half. Notice that she has pure power control over the Chaos Mirror.
Well, I mean, yeah, because she's responsible for this. Well, we're back in the our world though at this
yes.
point, right? Yeah, I'd say.
So Mark is at a loss for words. Naturally,
Mary should just go back into the parallel dimension.
Yes, she did. She went back to her mind. That's got to be a weird ass trip.
The figment of someone's imagination went back into her.
No, basically, no, it's not her. Partially her imagination, but ultimately her ideal self again.
The ideal went back into the head that created the ideal.
Right.
Okay.
So yeah, it's her imagination.
Yeah, it's a bit. It's about.
Yeah. Anyway, we get into a weird analogy about Pandora here, and Nate suggests we actually kill off Mary to save the world. Nate, you dick.
Is this Nate again thinking that the adult decision is the cruel decision?
Yeah, pretty much. Kind of like how a Hierophant murders his kind of like how a teacher kills the students to teach them something. Kind of bass backwards.
Yeah.
And Mark just gives him one in the face.
I'm going to teach you how to die.
I'll kill you!
Now you're getting it.
So basically, Mark here has the idea. Just because, like, the real Mary's the nihilist doesn't mean the ideal one is either. I'm going to. I want to kick Nate in the head.
Looks fun.
I can see Chris doing that, so. Alfred told me, hey, yeah, remember the butler that died? Jerk.
All the way back in part
2.
2.
We've come a long way, haven't we, folks?
Honestly, it's not as long as I thought it was going to be.
It was a lot longer when I was a kid.
Oh,
I think that's because I got lost a lot in the Carmouth House when I was a kid. Anyway, no worse for wear. Nate decides to actually try to save Mary now. What's going on here?
So is Mary essentially attached to the Deva system?
Mary is linked to the Deva system, correct. It's basically a way to hook her subconscious up with the Deva system, which is apparently reacting to Mary's subconscious, hence making the demons and making the world. The demons are a nice way, I guess, a metaphor in a sense. Because of Mary's own giant imagination, since she's an artist and all that, probably gave each of them their shape. In a way, they're kind of like shadows in a way. That's a term we'll get into in Persona 3. I know what that looks like. It looks like it's all blowing up. In reality, the core is being transported back to Mary's world. Then the rest of the machine blows up.
So the core in the real world is being transported to the parallel dimension.
Which also holds Mary's health and real... I want to say it holds the ideal Mary. But until we get that core back, Mary's kind of comatose.
Yeah, it doesn't look like she's getting up anytime soon.
She must smell.
Is that like a full helmet?
Yeah. And with the Deva system gone, and Mary's most likely rejecting us...
We have no way to get inside the parallel dimension.
Yeah, we're going to have to get lucky. Somebody got to do is not going to line around.
If we click our heels together 3 times.
I can't. We sold off the ruby slippers, remember?
God damn it, man.
Sorry. I needed the silver tip bullets. Mary is not making this easy. So she broke the mirror. Bitch.
I was going to pawn the damn thing to get the ruby slippers back.
Is that a ruby on the floor? Come on, Mark. Huh? What's with the question mark?
Experience has taught me to investigate anything that glows.
Your instincts honed after 3 months of battle.
The broken compact.
Yep. One of the final MacGuffins. Alright, now we got Mary's compact, which is basically the ideal Mary's compact that she left here with us.
Did she drop it before going into the mirror?
Most likely, yeah.
Did the mirror just spit it out before the core went?
Maybe she left and forgot to take it with her.
I'm
not Mary! Clunk her on the floor. And Chris, being the ever so eyeful guy, got the real Mary's compact.
She won't be needing this.
I can see Chris doing that if somebody else is comatose, and there goes $20 from her debit account.
The real Mary's compact has a mirror in it, so it's pretty much a replacement mirror.
No, what it is our Mary had the ideal Mary didn't have a mirror in her compact. Why? I don't know.
Yeah,
I honestly don't know. There's a symbolism behind it, but I don't know what it is.
I think is it simply because she's an ideal, but she's in the end not real.
Maybe. Anyway, talk to each of your friends and they'll give some sort of heartfelt speech, somewhat. The ideal Mary is the one to change herself, but the ideal soul couldn't accept the real existence. In other words, she wanted to be that girl, but she couldn't be that girl. And Mark gives a heartfelt speech about being stuck in the friend zone.
Was it pretty much like reality and
yeah.
sort of thing?
Now, your 5th character has a different speech every time. Chris unveils the rest of his past, so to speak, here. Oops. And she was a one-night stand. But she decided to keep Chris because she didn't want to lose her child to stay with Guido, Guido's father, so...
Chris is the result of a one-night stand?
Yeah, Chris is a bastard child.
Bastard child.
Yeah. I honestly kind of see where Chris comes from with that. But, dude... See, the thing is, though, is that Chris drove himself by a single-minded vengeance. So he ended up being kind of the loner. And it gets deconstructed a bit in Persona 2. There's traits that make him seem like a really cool dude here, show him up to be a really awkward adult. Mostly because he tries to be a salesman. No, he does try to be a salesman, but his persona still gives off that scary-ass aura, so that he ends up hurting sales. Ironically enough, the better salesman, Chunky, has Mara for his persona, and he's doing wonderful in sales. So we just got the Shard of the Chaos Mirror.
To come full circle with the joke, is he a dick?
Chunky? Nice.
Oh. So now they're going for the irony.
He was a dick in Persona 1. That's what we'll have to show off in the Snow Queen quest. Anyway, we got the Chaos Mirror, and it's a perfect fit.
Wait, that was that yellow thing glowing to the cabinet?
No, that was the Shard of the Chaos Mirror.
Oh, it was a shard.
As thanks to that, we're now able to go back to the ideal Mary's world.
Thanks to the
Road
shard...
trip!
Woo! Groovy, baby, groovy!
Yeah! And we're back.
Hello, guys.
You thought you could sneak by me, didn't you?
Alright, so thanks to the ideal Mary's compact, real Mary's compact, and a shard of the Chaos Mirror.
No, the Shard of the Chaos Mirror allowed us back into this world. That got us into here.
So
the Green Mary's compact was something we just sort of picked up.
So we just need. It doesn't matter if the mirror is broken. If you just have a piece of it, you can still travel.
Pretty much. It still has some of Mary's essence in it.
So what's the point of the whole mirror? Insurance?
Yeah. No, the mirror was Guido's tool, but the mirror was also a byproduct of Mary's creation. Mary's what's the word? I can't think of the right word.
Imagination.
I want to say imagination. More like a byproduct of Mary's power. So it let us in here. Plus, I think there's some part of Mary that really doesn't truly believe the nihilism she's spouting. Just like, you know, how one of those teenagers go through a nervous breakdown.
I don't see many girls go through a nervous breakdown.
You need to hang out with more women. Anyway. Somehow, Nancy's in the Lost Forest. Alright, Nancy, get a load of this! And Nancy's like, fuck!
we just faded to black.
Yeah, I like that little exposition. Don't you wish the Calm flashback in 7 would do that?
The what?
The Calm flashback in 7?
Flash, what, just fade to black and just reappear?
Yeah.
I kind of like that flashback sequence.
I do too, but not on repeat playthroughs.
Well, yeah, not on repeat playthroughs, because you already know what's going on.
Now, anyway, we choose to save Mary, and May is crying in the forest. By the way, this is actually a bit of a hard part for me in this game, because I gave Mary all the healing persona. I think the only source of healing I have is Bridget on Nate. Now, normally Nate would tell her to stay out of it, but Nate decides to say fuck it. But however, since the forest is dangerous, we can't guarantee the safety. And Nate is surprisingly more compassionate now.
Why don't you just transform back into that thing we told you to transform out of?
Haridi?
Yeah. Come on. Now, for the record, this Nancy, that's real, because Nancy doesn't exist in the parallel world, right?
Right. This is our Nancy, the real one Nancy.
But why did she decide to stay in the parallel world?
Because she wanted to help stabilize the device so we can get back to our world.
And she's the only one that can do that.
Pretty much, yeah. The other scientists were going, ah!
I thought it had something to do with May for some reason. I don't know why.
Now, I know you guys are expecting a jump cut of sorts. I'm going to go save real quick.
Yeah, I mean, by the way, we've been in this area before.
However, the monsters are a whole new brand of evil.
Damn right, as we will see.
Eventually. Riding a motorcycle?
No. Whew, I was actually going to think we were not going to make that.
And you lied. You cut it out.
Oh, we edited that battle out.
Oops.
No, because at this point, because actually I kind of felt guilty of that myself. I was like, oh, we've been in this area before. I could probably just edit out all the battles. But then I actually looked at the battles and stuff. I was like, wait, I was like, I don't remember this guy. So then I went back and looked at the parts that we did previously. I think the first time we went to the forest area was part 16 or 15, I want to say.
Give or take.
And I looked at the enemies there, and I was like, oh, wait, hold on a second. This is completely different. It's like, I better leave these battles in. Luckily, I do remember the battle that we do edit out. I did edit out just there. We encounter again, so I leave that one in.
Alright.
So, anyway.
Back to Vishnu and back to the road.
The adventure continues.
You think that after you map it out the very first time around, you would just, like, you know, I look around my persona real quick to see what I got here, and I could only have, like, Bridget with the heal, and that's it. And I'm just like, I'm my persona, see what we got good here. I got Crow on Nate. I got Odin on main character still. Chris, I gave Cerberus. I think I finished off with Cerberus, or I gave him Cerberus, and they still pack a Mephisto.
Which you haven't traded in at this point yet.
No, I do trade him in soon enough when I get the Panic Dirk.
Actually, I think by the next part you do that.
Yeah, and then I forget to equip it for another part.
God damn it.
I make that mistake sometimes.
Well, remember back in Final Fantasy
IV, you didn't equip the
I
Wyvern
didn't
Lance.
equip the Wyvern Lance, yeah.
But I expect better out of you.
No, it wasn't the Wyvern Lance. It was the Wyvern Lance because I was fighting Dark Bahamut.
Oops.
Hey, Abel's... No, I didn't get Abel's Lance after you beat Dark Bahamut. Shit.
Alright, now it's pretty much the same pathway there, ladies and gentlemen.
This name's misleading.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to be the Lost Forest if it never changes.
I mean, no, we found the damn thing.
Interesting enough, you're right. So what should we call the forest now? Just Augustus Forest?
No, the Augustus...
You would think that all these streets would try talking to you. Hello, everybody. How you doing? Hey, how's it going? Hey, I can imagine Mark actually striking up a conversation with these trees.
For what it's worth, the random encounter rate seems to be pretty low.
Yeah, because you're out your healer, so to speak, unless you gave it to somebody else. Interestingly enough, like I said, going back to the trees talking to everybody, can you see Mark talking to one of them? Like he tries to dance crazy in front of some of the trees and they get angry. Augustus tree, a question. If you fall and no one's around, do you make a sound? Sure. The other tree, Julius, fell down a week ago and he has to stop bitching about it since.
Can you shut him up?
Anyway, now it's Mary. That's what this game should be. There's something about Mary.
Actually, I just remembered, the encounters that you faced before talking to May are the same ones you fought in the Lost Forest. After this scene, the monsters change.
No, they could do. No, they can be before and after.
Well, then you just had to have some stroke of
Good
luck
luck
then, because I didn't see any of you do encounters before them.
And like I said, sometimes it's just luck. Now, there's another Mary.
There's a what?
There's a fourth Mary.
What?
The serial monster inside of us all, or in her case, Pandora, which is a metaphor for the ultimate nihilism. Basically, Pandora is, in a way, a nice little metaphor for her mental delusions.
Then what's Maggie?
Maggie is the malicious half. Like, but there's two separate evils at work. Maggie's the kind of girl that will put bubblegum in your hair. Pandora's the one that would hit you in the head with an axe. Like
and then
Mark.
put bubblegum in your hair.
Huh?
And then put bubblegum in your hair.
No, just the axe in the head.
Just
Fuck
the
the bubblegum head.
Oh, hold on. Where does she come from? Why do we suddenly need to know about this shit now? I mean, why?
Because if Maggie and Pandora actually succeed in wiping out this subconscious while we're in it, we're dead, as is Mary.
No, that's not what I was asking. I was asking, where did Pandora come from?
Pandora,
why is she suddenly... Was Pandora, she always there?
Remember the masks? Remember when I told you about masks and personalities? Pandora is pretty much a nice little metaphor for Mary's ultimate nihilism or ultimate evil side, so to speak, like everybody has in themselves.
Yeah, but why are we worrying about this now? I mean, was she there always?
She was there always. She was there always. Like, just because we saw 3 different Marys here doesn't mean that there aren't more than 3 Marys. In this case, we only need to know about the 4. The altruistic, the nihilistic, the jerk, and the ideal.
So why are we just learning about Pandora now?
Because Pandora wasn't an issue then. We didn't think we'd actually get hit with Pandora. New enemies. Scorpios, Macabres, and the Bumbos. The birds in the back are the Bumbos. They'll just hit you with all wind magic. Thankfully, wind's one of the weaker elements to hit with. The Scorpios will try to boost up physical strength and reduce your defense, I believe, or just boost up their physical strength. But they can't do anything with their physical attacks anyway, so they're no threat. The Macabres, or Legion in PSP version, they have an attack called Hell Eyes, which is an instant kill if they actually get a look at you.
Is it the same percentage as like a death blow or something like that?
Pretty accurate, actually. Anyway, I drop a rock, he's out.
Anyway, Pandora.
Yeah.
So Pandora was always there, but she never became an issue until now.
Right, because Maggie woke her up.
Okay, so she was sleeping.
Right.
In a sense.
Right. Think of it like, what's a good way of analyzing it? Think of it like somebody becoming a serial killer because of one bad day. Or Joker. One bad awakening. Like how the Joker snapped. That's kind of what Pandora is in hindsight. Think of it like, I know what she is, I just have a very bad time wording it to you.
Well, I don't really...
the murderous intent inside of us all that we all have.
I get what Pandora is. You know, it's just that up until now, have we had any mention of her or any in the sense?
We only had a mention of her recently with Nate's little metaphor. But at the same time, Pandora was there all along inside her. It's the woman who wished for ruin and the total end of the world. Because, you know, like you have one bad day and you go, oh man, I wish the world was fucking over. Such as like finals. God damn it, I hate these finals. I wish the world would end tomorrow because I didn't study for them like an idiot.
Maybe if I were to ever go back and again, I know it may have something to do with the Let's Play, or maybe the audience can fill me in case you're not giving me all the details because you like to do that.
There's nothing more to hide at this point.
Because
there's nothing more to hide at this point.
All right, well then, because and if there's a better explanation for this, then you know, I apologize and all that means. But to me, it just sounds like Pandora's a complete asshole.
Pandora's not an asshole.
Because this is the first time we're ever talking about her.
No, it's not an asshole. It's the first time we're talking about her, but it's not quite an asshole. Necron was a total asshole. Pandora is just like an element that was there and inside everybody else, just never discussed.
Nothing will ever beat Necron in terms of assholes.
No, but what I'm telling you though is that, for example, just like we saw, like I said earlier, we had like 3 different Marys. Yeah. We were focusing on those 3 Marys: Ideal Mary, May, Maggie. These were the only 3 we were focusing on.
And we take care of Guido.
But there was always Pandora.
We take care of Guido though, and suddenly there's a 4th Mary.
Well, there's only a 4th Mary because the Maggie woke her up. And the problem with that fourth one is that it's an utter nihilist. Releasing that thing would actually cause not only a severe personality change in Mary, may actually choose to wipe her the fuck out.
It just seems redundant to me with Maggie being there and all.
Maggie's malicious, but Maggie's also sort of like that childlike malicious. That kind of girl, the kind of person who does bad things and doesn't realize why they're bad.
And I say redundant because we saw earlier we saw Maggie crying.
Yeah.
Because we finished off Guido.
Right.
And stuff like that. And
that Maggie I think was only there because it was like a combination of the desire for a father figure in her life that she never had.
But I would think that they would use that so that Maggie suddenly becomes something far worse because now she's very fucking angry.
Well, the thing is, though, is that I'm spoiling a bit here, but Pandora absorbs Maggie.
So she contributes to it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, then that's close enough to what I was thinking, so... Okay, I can go with it.
By the way, those monsters there were insectoids or insectiods. Thank you, translation.
What's your strategy?
Kill them with holy magic if you got it. Otherwise, prepare to get looked at with hell eyes. Anyway, treasure. Ruby.
Ruby, is that a...
It's a gem you can trade in.
Oh, okay.
Treasure. Spell point essence. Plus 5 to your spell points whenever you use it. And I got trolled.
I bequeath you a hammer to the face.
Thanks, Jack. And this is the black tablet. We'll use that to make Saint Dragon, or Seiryu in the, or Seiryu, the other persona. It's a persona who I think is really good, actually.
Seiryu, what do I know that name from?
It's one of the four Suling. Remember Gem and Frost?
No, but I'm saying Seiryu. I've heard that name used in another.
It's the dragon.
Game. I know it's a dragon. It's like I'm wondering where I haven't heard that name before. There's probably another Final Fantasy boss I'm thinking of. Seiryu. Who had that name in Final Fantasy? Seiryu. Oh, that's gonna bother me now.
You're thinking Shinryu?
No, not Shinryu. Seiryu. That's a boss in Final Fantasy. What boss? It's a dragon. What Final Fantasy? 10? Am I thinking of 10?
No, that would be Shinryu.
No.
That's Enryu?
No. Not Enryu. We'll find out later.
Anyway, new enemy. Or Palette Swap.
And by new enemy, yeah, Palette. Exactly. In case you guys forgotten, if you go back to the first time Matt went to the forest, you fight an encounter very similar to like this.
Black Knight. These are, the last ones were Black Knights. I just forgot what the hell these are called. Pale Riders. Basically, these things are much more nastier than their Palette Swap counterparts. These things have Extinct, Red Fire, Magma Heat, which is basically a really powerful spear attack. And I forget the fourth ability they had. Tackle, which is rather weak in comparison at this stage in the game. But they're no threat.
Also sounds completely unremarkable when compared to the likes of Magma Heat.
Yeah, right? After Extinct and Red Fire, Tackle feels a bit weak. Anyway, now we gotta go in here and look for the real Mary. Not real Mary, the ideal Mary. Because we actually need her power to open up the final door.
So... Well, okay, we're looking for the ideal Mary at this point, right?
Yeah.
Alright.
Watch out for those little bitches. New enemy, Queenfly, or Titania for the PSP version users.
Titania.
Yeah, they're weak to tier 2 magic. But this is... I know I said it before how the fairy classes were basically your mages. Those things will actually start hitting you with really potent magic. They have Gishin, Sonic Ball, Elixir, and I think Sleep Song or Devil Smile. By the way, if you look close enough, you can see eyes in the rocks, so they look like fishies.
Isn't that cute? Oh, I'm dead.
What a way to go.
And who's this? That's
Odin.
Oh, okay, that's Odin.
I think I may have been spoiled a bit here by the PSP's insane accuracy for status magics. Meanwhile, Mark just chopped the fucking thing in one blow. I love that holy axe. I set up Magic Shield. This is Tet Raja, which basically protects you from light and dark magics for one hit. Very helpful. Plus, it actually gets experience if they actually hit the Magic Shield.
Yeah.
So it's good for boosting up your experience points in a way. The Holy Magic ain't gonna do shit to the fly, but it's gonna hurt the Pale Rider. Kill it next turn.
Tell.
Doink.
That's okay. It missed.
No. The lance weapons like that always did seem a bit unwieldy to me.
What, for just the purpose of stabbing?
Yeah.
Well, I think it'd be more convincing if he, used the horse to joust.
Anyway, you may have seen that status magic wolf under Cerebus's spell set. What it does is that if you use it, you're immune to status magics, I think, and it increases your power based on the phase of the moon. Even a full moon, I never noticed that much of a power boost, so it's kind of worthless. But food for thought.
Is the background different?
Yes, I think it is.
It seems more psychedelic than last time.
Well, the backgrounds usually do change, so believe it or not, even though they all at least look psychedelic. I'm pretty sure I had Bridget on this, didn't I? Oh, I started using my tech essences. I gave one to Chris because God knows he needs a magic boost, and so did I with Nate. I gave one to Hey You, and I think one to Nate.
So they add to your stats?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's kind of like vitamins in a sense.
Yeah. Always take your vitamins, but these are essences. Always sniff your vitamins. What if we just did speed for spell point essence?
Hey You's bouncing off the walls. Oh,
and with that said, we'll see us at part 20. As soon as we get Hey You to stop bouncing off the walls.
Someone get the stick.